Hi everyone, welcome to Circle. Please can you have a seat? And do you remember how we're going to sit at Circle? Yep, crisscross applesauce with your hands in your lap. And please don't poke anyone next to you. Keep your hands to yourself. And let's start Circle with a song. Who can tell me if they remember what is the sign? What is this sign? Raise your hand. Yeah, that's right. Peace. So we're going to sing Peace Like a River. I've got peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river, peace like a river in my soul. Great. That was beautiful singing. Thank you for singing along. So let's start our circle with a quiet minute and let's think about something peaceful. You can think about sitting next to a nice peaceful river. So let's take a nice deep breath in. Great, thank you. That was really nice and peaceful. I hope you all were thinking about something or some place that made you feel peaceful. So I'm going to read a book today to you called I Am Peace, a book of mindfulness by Susan Verde, art by Peter H. Reynolds. There are times when I worry about what might happen next and what happened before. The thoughts in my head are like rushing water, and I feel like a boat with no anchor. Being carried away. I give myself a moment, I take a breath, and then I tell myself, it's all right. I feel the ground beneath my feet and steady myself. And start to notice the here and the now. My thoughts begin to settle. My mind begins to clear. I am peace. I can watch my worries gently pop and disappear. I let things go. I can say what I feel inside out loud. I know myself. I can share kindness with others. I make a difference. See, the child's feeding the bird. Oh, and look what's happening while he's feeding the bird seeds. It looks like one's dropped. Poop. and landed right on the ground. And look what's happened. It sprouted. I can hug a tree and thank it for its beauty and strength. I connect to nature. I can watch the clouds make shapes against the sky. I know wonder. Oh, this child looks very peaceful. I can taste and smell and touch and hear and see what is all around me. I use my senses. I can feel my breath fill my whole body. I tune into me. Try that. Take a deep breath. Just feel it fill your whole body. And then let it go. It feels so nice. Now the water is still. I have found my anchor, and everything is all right. I don't need to worry about before or after. I am in this moment. I am peace. Now I share my peace with others and hope that it is carried away to those who need it. And I dream we are peace. I love that book. Just is so nice to listen to that. So today I'm going to show you an artwork, and the first part of the artwork is to go outside in your yard and look around and collect things that you can find. So I'm going to show you, I took this tin outside. You know what, I would take a container, but it doesn't have to be very big. And I'll show you I collected some pine cones and some little sticks and little rocks and little pieces of wood. So really take your time and look around in your backyard and see the different things you can find. Pine cone, some dried leaves. We're still working on cleaning up our yard, so we have lots of dried leaves everywhere. And we have little pieces of wood and little sticks. So just go around and collect things, some leaves, and see what you can find in your yard. But please, when you are collecting, only collect things that are already on the ground. Please don't pick any flowers or any parts of the tree off of the tree. I know you might want to put that in your artwork, but flowers are really important to the bees and the other insects right now. And all the trees are just starting to bud. We do not want to hurt them by pulling things off of them. So please don't pick the grass. Anything that's growing in green, just leave it right where it is. But if it's all dried and brown on the ground, this one was just sitting on the ground. It's very, very dried out from last season. So you can pick those things. And take your time. Have fun. Go outside and just gather all sorts of little things. Look at this I found. Pretty fun. All right, so once you have gathered all the things that you want to gather, you will need a newspaper mat. And you can do this artwork outside if you'd like. I was going to film this outside, but it's very windy right now and loud, so I figured I would come inside. So let's get our newspaper mat. And I just grabbed a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to put my name on the back of it first. Miss her name. Okay. And you will need glue. And I got both the squeeze glue and a glue stick. You can use whatever you have at your house. Some things glue better with the glue stick, some things with the squeeze glue. All right, so I'm going to start taking some things out of my container. I'm going to take some sticks and some bark and a couple rocks. And just whatever I think I'm going to want to put on my nature art here. So I'm just going to collect everything I'm going to use right here. All right. So now that I have everything that I think I'm going to want to put on there, And you might need a pair of scissors if you want to cut anything. I found that everything was really, really dry, so it was easy just to break it with my hand. But if you want to cut leaves up to make different shapes, you can do that for sure. So normally when we're at school, we ask you to please put the glue on the object that you're gluing. But for this, I found that it's much easier to actually put the glue right on the cardboard and then put your object on. So let's see, I'm going to put a line here, and then I'm going to put a stick. I'm going to take one of my little sticks here, and I'm going to stick it right in the glue. See how it's sticking on like that? And you can make any design you want. Just kind of do whatever you would like on here. I think I'm going to make a pattern with mine. Let's see what I have so far. See, like that? And if you have leaves, it might be easier to use a glue stick. But right now the squeeze glue is working pretty good to hold these sticks on. This is really fun. Oop. And you're probably going to get a little bit of glue on your hands, but that's okay. You can wash your hands afterwards. Ooh, so look what we have so far. Pretty cool. Let's see, I'm going to see if I can glue some of my rocks in between. Ooh, let's see if they're going to stay. You might have to get smaller rocks if you're going to glue them on, because larger ones might not hold. We'll see. Oh, so far so good. Look at that. Can you see that? Next, I think I'm going to use, this is some bark I found just sitting on the ground outside. Oh, yep, so we want to be careful. You want the glue to dry a little bit. I'm just trying to hold it up to show it to you guys. I think I might put a little bit more, some more rocks on maybe. And again, just remember when you're outside and you're collecting things, just make sure it's things that are already on the ground or in your garden that have dried up from last year. Because it's spring now and everything is just starting to grow, so we don't want to pull anything off trees or any parts off any plants. All right, I think that I might be done with that one. I'm going to try and hold it up. Let's see, make sure the rocks don't fall off. Whoa, we're having one falling. All right, so just like at school when we have our drying rack, you're going to need to put this someplace in your house to let the glue dry. So I'm going to show you. I made one the other day that is all dry, so I can show you one that's already dry. Let's see. So this one, you can see I made a heart, and I used all sorts of dried leaves that I found, and I even put some leaves down here, and I really had a lot of fun doing that. And my son Tobias made one too, and he wrote the word Minecraft. He really likes a video game called Minecraft, so he wrote Minecraft. So you can even use little sticks to make your name or to write a message to somebody or just make a design. I think it came out pretty nice. So I'm just going to fix my rocks so they don't slide around everywhere. All right, I'm going to put that over here to dry. And very important, just like at school, I'm going to close the glue when I'm done with it so it doesn't dry out. And another way you can do this is if you don't want to glue it or you don't have glue at your house, you can just put all of the objects outside on the ground and arrange them that way and then just look at them. So that is pretty fun. And I just call that nature art. You can just use whatever you can find in your yard to do that with. All right, so next I'm going to show you a work that we have done at school before. So some of you may have seen this already. And for this work, you will need a bowl of water. And it can be any bowl. It can be glass or plastic. This one's made of glass. And I chose this one just so you'll be able to see what we're doing. But yours does not have to be able to see through. You can just use a Tupperware, whatever you have at home. And then you will need to collect some different objects around your house. And just something small that will fit in the bowl will work. And this work we call sink or float. So I made little signs that say sink, float. So let's see if we can set this up so you guys can see everything. Let's put this here. All right, so I have a little plate here that we're going to put the objects in. So anything that floats in the water, we're going to put on this plate here. And anything that sinks, we'll put on this one right here. What does that mean to sink? Who can tell me? Raise your hand. What does it mean to sink? Yeah, it means it goes into the water. So an object that sinks is going to go all the way to the bottom of the bowl and stay there. So what does it mean to float? Yeah, it stays on top. So an object that floats is going to rest right on the top of the water without going underneath the water. It will float. So, very important, when you collect your objects around your house, before you do this work, you need to ask an adult and have them check all the objects that you pick that they're okay to get wet. Because all of these objects are going to go in our bowl one at a time. But there are things in your house that your mom and dad do not want to go into the water. So before you start this work, I want you to bring your bowl or whatever you use to collect your objects to your mom or dad and ask them, is everything in this bowl okay to get wet? And if they say no, it's not, then you need to ask which one's not okay to get wet so you can take it out and not use that one. So I went through my house and I made sure that it was okay that all of these objects can get wet. So let's see, we're going to put them in the water one at a time and we're going to see if they're going to sink, go all the way to the bottom, or if they're going to float. So let's see, the first thing that we're going to try is a marble. I found this blue marble. So what do you guys think? If I put it in the bowl, is it going to sink or is it going to float? Raise your hand. You think it'll sink? Okay. And when you put your objects in your bowl, you want to just do it very gently. We don't want to throw it in. We don't want to get water splashed all over. So I'm going to put it in very gently. And it went all the way to the bottom. So this marble, we're going to put on this plate that says sink. Okay? Oh, and you can also grab, I don't have any sponges like we use at school, so I just grabbed this little cloth here. I thought it was very cute. See the children there? And it says, encourage love, not waste. Okay, so I'm just going to keep that next to me. If I need to wipe my hand on it, or if I spill any water, I can just use that to wipe it up. All right, let's see. The next thing I have that I found in my house is a Lego piece. Can you see that? What do you guys think? Is it going to sink, or will it float? Raise your hand. You think it'll float? Anybody else? Oh, you think it'll sink? All right, let's see. Oh, it's resting right on top of the water. So that Lego piece, we're going to put right on this dish for float. All right, let's see. What do I have next? Oh, I have a little stick I found outside. Something I didn't use for my nature art. What do you guys think? Sink or float? You think it's going to float? All right, let's see. Yep, it sure does. It's floating right on top. I don't even know if you can see that one in there. But yeah, it's floating. So we're going to put it right over here on float. All right, how about this one I found? A safety pin. A little tricky. What do you guys think? You think it'll sink? Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts? You think it'll sink too? Okay, let's see. Oh, you were right. It went all the way to the bottom. So we're going to put it right over here with sink. All right, how about a nail? It's just a regular nail like you would use to hang a picture maybe, or if you're building something. What do you guys think? You think it'll float? Okay, let's see. Oh, it's all the way at the bottom. So it's gonna go right in this one, sink. All right, let's see. Oh, I have another Lego piece. This one though is flat. So what do you think? Our other Lego piece floated. You think this one will float too? What do you think? Raise your hand. Oh, you think it'll float too? All right, let's see. Yep, it floats. When my boys were little, they used to take, and they still do sometimes, they used to take Legos into the tub with them and build things in the tub. So, all right, let's see this next thing. Oh, it's a little tiny bell. Let's see if I can hold it and shake it at the same time, but my hands are wet. Okay, a little bell. What do you think? Sink or float? You think it's gonna sink? Okay. Anybody else? You think it's gonna sink too? All right, let's see. Yep, it went right to the bottom and it even made some bubbles. So we will put that right on the plate here with the rest of the things that are sinking. All right, how about this one? I found a googly eye. What do you guys think? Googly eye. You think it'll sink? Okay, let's test it out. I don't know if you can see that one. It's floating. It's right on top. So we'll put it right over here in float. So I have another object from our nature art. What do you guys think? Sink or float? You think it'll float? All right, let's try it out. Oh, it almost looked like it wanted to float, but it mostly went to the bottom. Can you guys see it in there? See that? What do you think? That's a hard one. Yeah, I'm gonna say because most of it went underneath, so we're gonna put that with the objects that sink. All right. How about this? This is a little tiny bead I found, and it has a little hole in it for like stringing or making jewelry, and it's in the shape of a turtle. What do you guys think? You think it'll float? I don't know. You think the hole might help it float? Let's see. Oh, it went right down. That one went really fast down to the bottom. So that one is going to go over here with sink. How about this one? This is a little wooden ball I found. My sons Nikolai and Tobias have a game that they play with this that they made from a science kit. So they play a little game with that. It's like a maze, and they use the wooden ball. So let's see, what do you think? Sink or float? You think sink? You think it's going to sink like the marble did? All right, let's see. It's floating. All right, last object in my bowl is a rock. It's almost in the shape of a heart. See that? It's pretty cool. So what do you guys think? It's a rock. It's pretty flat. You think it'll sink or you think it'll float? Raise your hand. You think it's going to sink? Okay, let's see. Yep. Can you see it down there? It went all the way to the bottom. And when you pick your objects up, you can let the water drip down back into the bowl. Did you see that? It's kind of fun to watch that. And then there's less water to wipe up after. All right, so we're going to put it over here at sink. So now I'm going to take my cloth that I brought over, and I'm just going to wipe the table a little bit. I'm going to wipe my hands a little bit. And then you can put all of your objects back into your bowl, and you can do it again. You can look in your house for more objects. But again, before you put anything into the bowl of water to see if it's going to sink or float, you must ask your parents or an adult at your house if it's okay that the object gets wet. Because these things will get wet, and you definitely don't want to put something in there that's going to get ruined if it gets wet. So let's put everything back in here. And you can pick as many objects as you'd like to try, as long as you check and make sure it's okay that they can get wet. I'm going to take my little signs off here. And if you can write the words sink and float, that would be great. If you want to ask your mom or dad or an older sibling to write it for you, and then you can trace it, that would be great too. And there, I have a little bit of water on my plates over here, so I'm just going to wipe them up here. And wipe them up here. Wipe that up really nice. I'm just going to move everything out of the way here. All right, and then after you wiped everything up, you can take your cloth and you can fold it. And put it over here. And that's all I have to show you guys today. So I hope that you all are getting outside. It is so, so beautiful this week. I've been outside pulling weeds and just putting my feet in the grass, barefoot. It's been so warm. It was so warm yesterday that Nikolai and Tobias, my two boys, they even ran through the sprinkler. They said it was really cold, but they had fun doing it. So I hope that you all are having fun and getting outside and enjoying this beautiful, beautiful spring weather. Bye, till next time.